Welcome to Team Tigio Court TV, where we upload videos every single day. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share our videos.
All right, we're back on the record in the 53rd Circuit Court for the County of Cheboygan, and we are providing public access both in the courtroom and also online. And up next, we've got sentencing on People v. Charlene Dyer. It's three file numbers, 25-6998FH, 6999FH, and 7000FH for maintaining 2-year high court misdemeanor, possession of methamphetamine, a 10-year felony, and in 7000, 2 counts of R&O, a 2-year felony, and maintaining a 2-year high court misdemeanor. Counsel, please state your appearances.
Melissa Goodrich, Cheboygan County Prosecutor.
No Nigel for Ms. Dyer, who appears in person to my right.
All right, and have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report and recommendations with your client?
Have, Your Honor, finding no errors or omissions, scoring seems accurate in the report. I did note in Ms. Dyer noted the court did say 2 counts of resisting or obstructing a police officer. It was just the 1 count of R&O under the plea. Count 2 R&O. Maybe I misheard. I don't know.
No, I said that and I said it incorrectly. I saw my notes had a parentheses 2, which was a reminder of the maximum penalty, not the number of counts. So I misspoke. You're correct. It's 1 count of R&O and 1 count of maintaining in 7000.
Thank you.
And so the advisory guidelines are scored at 0 to 9, 0 to 11, 0 to 11, and 0 to 11 respectively. Any scoring challenges from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges from the people?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Nightingale, I see that you've submitted a couple letters of support for Ms. Dyer. Let me take a minute just to review those before I ask for your allocution here, so I have the benefit of it.
Thank you.
All right, I've had an opportunity to review a letter of support from Ms. Dyer's mother as well as her older sister. A letter from Harbor Hall documenting some therapy sessions attendance and sign-in sheets documenting some AA attendance. Thank you. Mr. Nightingale, anything you want to say on behalf of your clients?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So Ms. Dyer comes before the court at 37 years of age. I think as the PSI does a great job of outlining, Ms. Dyer has struggled with a drug and alcohol issue for probably the better part of 2 decades now at this point. It seems like her first use of any substance is about 15 years of age, and she's abusing Percocets at 18. I guess thankfully she didn't try methamphetamine, it sounds like, till 35, but it seems like as soon as that use occurred, her life, both personal and professional, has really taken a turn at this point. She is a licensed certified phlebotomist. We always need more people in this community as far as healthcare providers are concerned. It's unfortunate, but I think that these convictions probably remove the possibility of her going back to a certified healthcare position for at least a period of time. We are certainly thankful for the agreement that we were able to work out here. Ms. Dyer had a slew of really serious charges that were filed against her. To her credit, since these were filed in her latest release on bond, she's done remarkably well. She's participating in treatment as required. She's back in her son's life, providing a positive role model for him. She's back helping her mom with all of those difficulties that her mom's experiencing, both with raising Ms. Dyer's son essentially while Ms. Dyer was in custody, and then the health issues that she's going through now as far as her heart are concerned. Ms. Dyer, I think it makes clear in these letters to the court, is very much family first, and would very much give anything to be able to continue on this path of helping her mom, helping her son, and first and foremost helping herself. She is taking this treatment seriously. I think as far as the letter from Harbor Hall is concerned, it doesn't provide a lot, but, it provides, I think, what the court needs to know, right? That she's attending her individual therapy as scheduled, and that she's got therapy sessions scheduled throughout the first week of November. So she's taking this very seriously. She does advise me that the AANA log sheet she's provided, she didn't take that sheet with her to every single class. So she's got more classes than this that she's done, but these are what we're able to provide as proof to the court at this point that she's attended and has signatures for. Miss Dyer's family, her mother is here. Her mother has been very supportive throughout this entire incident. I think that if Miss Dyer slips up, she understands that her mom is probably going to let somebody know about that. And she's got a lot on the line here as far as this recommendation is concerned. I think the recommendation is fair and measured under the circumstances in light of Ms. Dyer's lack of criminal history before this. We have no issue doing probation. I think that would be beneficial for Ms. Dyer to continue doing that, to continue her treatment under this court's supervision. The agreement on the plea is for any incarceration order shall not exceed 12 months combined for all three files. We're obviously asking the court to time serve her executed portion and put her on probation as outlined in the PSI that MDOC has provided to the court. Additionally, Judge, we are going to ask the court to put her on a 7411 for this count for possession of methamphetamine. I don't know, reading the statute, the other counts would fall under that, but that is her most serious charge to which she has pled guilty and is eligible under that statute. And so for those purposes, we're going to ask the court to place her on 7411 for that possession of methamphetamine. If she's able to complete that sentence successfully, I think that certainly changes the game for her as far as her future employment prospects. She does have hopefully some work lined up here shortly. She's in the middle of doing a background check for Harmony House, I think is what it was, right? And so that's, to my understanding, an adult foster care home. And of course, they need people to work and who are willing to work, who are qualified to be there. And frankly, they have not just Harmony House, but those types of facilities generally have a really hard time attracting and recruiting talent that is qualified to be there and that wants to be there. And I think that Ms. Dyer is just that person. She promises to abide by any orders that the court puts on her today. She promises to abide faithfully by the terms of her probation if the court were to allow her to go straight to probation today. So I think with all that being said, Judge, we would just ask the court to accept the recommendation of the PSI, except to put her on 7411 for that added count for possession of methamphetamine. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nightingale. Ms. Dyer, you don't have to make a statement today, but it is allowed. Is there anything you want to tell me or no?
No.
Okay. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is 37 years old with no prior criminal history, currently unemployed. One thing she does have to her benefit is that she has a good support system that most defendants don't come here and have. It's unfortunate that she obviously wasn't using that support system when she incurred these 3 serious felony cases, but I hope she goes forward and does utilize that support system. I'm thankful that she's not working in the healthcare industry when she's out delivering methamphetamine and using methamphetamine. That's not where she should be, and that's why there's rules there to protect that from happening. So we're not treated by healthcare providers that are doing that. She had no criminal history and then incurred these 3 cases quite quickly. It looks like after her plea on July 22nd, she did not address attending Harbor Hall until right before her previously scheduled sentencing at 9/9, with her first appointment being September 4th, and then the sentencing being adjourned today on September 30th. However, I'm glad that she now has decided to attend, whether that was for sentencing purposes or not. It's still beneficial to her, I guess, as to her future path. Her actions will speak the loudest as to her seriousness in getting better and recovering from this addiction and being safer in our community. I would object to the 7411, given that these originally were delivery of methamphetamine serious charges. So I would object to that request, but I do otherwise agree with the PSI recommendations. Thank you.
Can I ask then if if I were to put her on 7411 probation in 6999 and she successfully completed, then she'd have the 2 maintainings and the R&O and the other files. So would that, after the passage of the statutory time, make her eligible for set aside then for not more than 3 felonies, Mr. Nightingale?
I would say so. I mean, if this, if the added count 4 is dismissed pursuant to 7411, then I would say yes, that she would be eligible to set those aside.
Ms. Goodrich, do you have any insight on that? Or
I do that.
all right, Ms. Dyer, if you please stand for the court sentence. First off, we've got some pending contempts. You did serve, your bond had been revoked and you served more than 93 days on those. We'll go ahead and dismiss those pending contempts. You're 37 years of age. You have no prior criminal convictions at all. Which is a little bit surprising given that, you know, you have had some substance abuse struggles in the past. You managed to navigate those without getting into the criminal justice system. But here there were some controlled buys of methamphetamine in 6999. I think the lack of prior record means that you're here today and not going to prison. But you should know that your behavior in 6999, there are other folks with even not a whole lot of prior record, but there's people that engage, that do exactly what you did in 6999 and go to prison for selling methamphetamine. I've sentenced way too many people in our community to prison for doing exactly what you did in this case. And even though it's pled down to a possession and the guidelines are 0 to 11, if you were to commit more crimes while you're on probation, your lawyer can tell you, I don't have to follow those guidelines. They're advisory even today. And if you commit crimes on probation, I'll seriously be thinking whether you need to go to prison. So, you know, you really need to take advantage of treatment options and family support you have. I read these PSIs in all these cases and so, I mean, you're only being punished today for the crimes that you're here on. But I'll tell you, it was no surprise to me to see your name come across my desk on cases, on your cases, because your name's been in other reports. You were pretty heavily involved in the methamphetamine scene in Cheboygan County. And that leads to nothing but pain for you and your family and for the other people that you get involved in. So I just want you to understand that how close you came to going to prison in this case for your first conviction. Ms. Goodrich, in the first file, that there's no recommendation for any DNA testing or fees. Do we already have DNA testing on her from a previous arrest or something? And I didn't see that checked on the information.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
That should have been previously.
All right. So Ms. Dyer, taking all these things. Oh, and also there was some indication, certainly in the letters, about some of the stuff you've had to overcome with your child's father, and I'm very familiar with that gentleman. And he has significant mental health and violence issues. So I don't doubt any of those things that were put in those letters. But my goodness, you know, your son is 12 years old. He's old enough to know mom's in trouble and what she's in trouble for. What kind of example are you setting that? I mean, think about the dad he's got. All the stuff that's in those letters about the dad he's got. And now his mom selling methamphetamine. Do you know, I don't know your son at all, but experience and studies will tell me there's a pretty good chance that someday I will know your son. because he'll be standing right where you are today. Do you want that to happen?
Absolutely not.
Right. What do you need to do in your life? Not just to prevent you standing in front of me, to prevent your son in 8 or 9 years standing in front of me. That's what you need to think about. There's things you can do now to prevent your son from ever getting to know me. I hope you do those things. And
I am trying.
someday I don't sentence your son to go join you locked up somewhere. All right, well, Ms. Dyer, taking all these things into account, including the advisory guidelines and the compass assessment, recommending all the services that we would need on probation. In file 6998 for maintaining a drug house 0 to 9. I'm going to place you on probation as recommended for 24 months, subject to the terms and conditions listed on pages 3 and 4 in the pre-sentence report, highlighting that you got to complete drug testing and substance abuse treatment, mental health and other counseling as referred by your field agent, maintain employment. There's a monthly supervision fee. There's $68 in state costs, $130 in crime victims assessment, $350 in court costs. And I will order you to comply with DNA testing and pay a $60 fee. Also, I'm going to order that you serve 151 days in jail and give you credit for 151 days previously served. In file 6999, I'll place you on probation for 24 months as recommended, subject to the terms and conditions listed on pages 4 and 5 in the pre-sentence report, which really mimic a lot of the terms in the other case. There is a restitution of $150 for the buy money. There's crime victims assessment of $130, state cost of $68. I'm not going to assess court costs in the second case since I assessed it in the first one. And in that file, I'll order you serve 151 days jail with credit for 151 days previously served. In file 7000, on the charges of resisting, obstructing police and maintaining advisory guidelines of 0 to 11. I'll place you on probation for 24 months as recommended, subject to the terms and conditions listed on pages 5 and 6 of the pre-sentence report, which mirror some of the same terms and conditions as the previous cases. There's in that file $136 in state costs, $130 in the crime victims assessment. Again, I'm not going to assess court costs since I assessed it in the first file. In that case, I'm going to order that you serve 148 days jail and give you credit for 148 days previously served. All those cases being concurrent with one another. You are eligible for early discharge from probation at the halfway point if you have successfully completed all the required services and terms and conditions. So we're going to hand you a piece of paper explaining that process and your rights in that regard. Also, you can file an appeal if you wish to the Court of Appeals. I'm going to give you a piece of paper explaining those appeal rights. If you want a lawyer, you'd have to ask within 6 months. We're going to ask you to initial one copy of those, and you can fill out the other one if you want to take an appeal. And also, I forgot, in file 6999, I will not enter a judgment of sentence at this time and place you on probation in that file only pursuant to section 7411 of the Public Health Code. So what that means, Ms. Dyer, is if you successfully complete probation, that case will be dismissed. You'll have 3 other felony convictions, and after a period of time passes, you can petition to have all those set aside. So if you turn this around now, don't get in trouble, then at some point in the future, you can be felony free. If you continue on the path you have been on, you'll have all these felonies and you'll have them from the inside of a prison cell. So that's all going to be up to you. Good luck to you. Do you want her to stick around to talk with you today? Yeah. Okay, stick around to talk to Agent Martin today.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah.